Very good evening to the judges and also the participants of this SEE International Malaysia event. The title of this project is Plug and Play or PNP Electronic Vehicle Security for Vehicles. I'm the presenter today. I am Dr. Shashi Kumar, and that is my qualification. I'm from Multimedia University, lecturer there. As an introduction, we know there's a lot of car lovers out there, and these car lovers has very expensive rims been plugged into their vehicle, and our project is to secure and give a good security to these particular vehicles. It could be also some expensive vehicles or exotic vehicles that has high-end spec rims. As an overview for this project, we could see here that people around the world owns at least one car as a statistics, and they consider it a necessity to compute in daily basis. A car has many important parts, including rims, coils, lug nuts, and tires. The lug nut function of the security is to keep the tire attached to the hub. The car wheel rims has least security among all the parts, and this lug nut or bolt nut they use as a fastener for these car wheel rims. The effectiveness of this fastener is important to secure the car wheel rims. Condition of tire also is crucial to avoid any accidents caused by of the vehicle concern. The problem statement for this project is most drivers have their rims stolen even during a short period to the supermarket, especially it's an expensive or luxury car. And these rims that is stolen could be easily cost up to 10k for a high-end cars. And also, the condition of the tires is also needs to be also checked, where it might also cause an accident if it is not being kept to up to the standard. So the user uses different type of monitoring devices for that particular problem regarding the tires. Example, the TPS right now in the market, where it is aftermarket or before market, they have this TPS, tire pressuring monitoring system, been embedded into the tires. The lug nut was sold in the market only to secure the rim tires. It do not have any additional features that can help the drivers to have a better experience when driving. This is a product where it secures the lug nut with different types of flowers in the lug nut itself with a specific socket, so that it is now very hard to open that particular lug nut. So that secure, there's a system to secure using lug nuts. But these lug nuts is actually they have just simply by modifying the socket wrench, they could easily break open these lug nuts. So it is not 100% secure if you use the special lug nuts with a special key designed for that particular lug nut. The objective of this project is to identify the weakness of mechanical security device in protecting the wheel, and also to design an electronic plug and play wheel security system to improve the wheel security. Also to develop a wireless real-time wheel logger, early warning system detection of wear and tears in the rim or coil, and also to detect air pressure of the tire. So our device is one device that can able to do multiple tasks. As in literature review, you can see here where the statistics of car rim theft, actually the trend is decreasing, and this is been taken from an online source. If you look into other countries, the car rim theft is actually even though it's decreasing, actually the cases are quite large also, depending on the country population or car population size. Furthermore, on the literature review, here we are showing some patterns of existing ideas, how to lock using mechanical system to lock your lug nuts. And the locking system could be like in a group where all five are being grouped into one key locking, or each lug nut is being locked with a key, or you use a universal clamp system to lock the wheel. So these are some existing ideas and patterns. This slide here, it shows how actually the thieves, they hijack a car wheel rim, even though they have some mechanical lug nut bolts with different types of flower. Here you can see the types of lug nut or bolts they use, where they have different types of cutting of that flower on that lug nut itself. So even though they have this kind of security, and it will take some time for the thief to steal with this type of security, it doesn't actually let the owner know there's a theft is in progress. And here, how they actually do this stealing is they just jam into the lug nut with a force, with a pre-universal key, and then they open the lug nut. So here it shows the comparison between the existing tools, where all these tools have some weakness. The key is easily been picked, or the padlock is easily been picked also. Next, here we want to see on our project itself, that is our EWS project, that is electronic wheel security project, and we want to see the methodology of the hardware. And what we are using here is actually the infra fly fish sensors and FSR sensors, and also your accelerometer sensors. So these three sensors are being processed with the microprocessor and storage for SD card, GPS, LCD display, and also some iron casting needs to be done to place all of them in there. So the method of our project here, where we have two type of situation, where during the car is parked, then the system is activated, or during the car is in drive mode, the system is activated. So actually our system activated during car is drive, and also during car is parked. So both condition it is being activated. Why is activated in both condition is because if you look at our park, if we talk about lug nut security, is normally during park time, not during drive time. And when you park your car, or your car is in sleep mode, then that case, then you need to activate your rim security, and this is being activated using our infra fly fish sensors and force sensors and accelerometer. And the data from here are then being sent. If there is an activation here happen, then it is sent as notification level 1 to your phone, and that is to detect the lug nut removal. If there's some kind of lug nut removal is being detected using this sensor, then it is now if it is also have a force sensor been activated, then it sends a level 2 notification. So it's detecting the hub is loosening, and also accelerometer here as a level 3 notification, where it detects the rim is actually been removed. So you have plenty of time to actually look at these notifications, and you can figure out, is it a false notification, or is it an actual event taking place where your rim is being in the process of getting stolen. If it is during car drive, then why do we need to also activate the system during car is in driving mode? So we are doing so because we can also now check your like your TPS, right, where it is a tire pressure monitoring system. Our system can also do that when you're driving. So So the same system now with your accelerometer, all right, here, it can detect actually the fault in the tire pressure, replacing your TPS. It can also detect the tire tread is worn out, and also it can detect the rim or coil is abnormal condition or wobbling. And this wobbling can be also detected from your force sensor, and your force sensor also can detect this wobbling. So this wobbling is like it's so somebody has tampered with your lug nut, or it is not been placed properly due to go into a pothole or and so on. So here it shows our first prototype of our EWS, electronic wheel security. If you can see here, this prototype is actually a bit bulky and chunky because it's a first prototype. This for initial tests, and later we'll show you the final prototype. And this prototype here, you can see that we have used our sensors here on that lug nut itself, and we process using a microcontroller and also a battery, and also attached for power supply. And here it shows the prototype of AWS, some pictures here of the actual hardware. And this hardware here, it was done during movement control order due to COVID-19, and it's very difficult that time to actually get the parts to do CNC or do casting and so on. So but we have managed to do a prototype during this particular time. So here the result is that during the car is being parked, we have three different levels using three different sensors. That is the infrared, and then you have the force sensor, and also the XYZ sensor. So that will give you three different levels of detection of a theft that's been going on, and you get it by GPS in your phone. And here it shows the movement of the rim of the XYZ sensor, where it is not been moved, it's in a stagnant during car park. And if the final level here, level 3, if the rim is being taken out, then that case there's some X and Y Z direction of movement, and here it shows there's some movement in the X and Y direction. So that case, that is be the final to confirm that the wheel is actually out of the hub. And this level 2 is force, that means the hub is now forced to the from the lug nuts to the car itself, of the hub of the car. So that case, then if the nuts are open, then only this force will not be there. And finally, here is the lug nut itself. So as the lug nut is here, the infrared is being placed where this is been turned, then you can see the difference of ones and zeros that is being spiked on the lug nut itself. So that codes here will change, the variations gives ones and zeros. So we can see the difference of a dark and bright on the lug nut itself, and that will now say that lug nut is being twisted, and that case level 1 will trigger. So level 1 will trigger when this lug nut is being turned, and level 2 will trigger when the force is being loosened up because of all the 5 being loosened up, and level 3 will trigger when actually the rim is being taken out of that particular car. Here it shows during driving. So the XYZ sensor now is been activated when you are driving, and here we have shown our results here, where here it shows the graph of the rim or the coil at normal condition, and here is an abnormal condition. So in that case, then there is some kind of wobbling in the car tire itself. Then you can see from the normal condition there is a difference here, whereas if you look at normal tire pressure, and this is at a low tire pressure, you can also again see difference between normal and a low tire pressure. So this could be correlated and calculated using some softwares that you have developed. and we can now state it is normal pressure or high or low pressure in that particular tires. So this project is been funded as a startup business by MMU, and we have got some amount of cash actually to do this project during the COVID or during the movement control or the time period. This is the final prototype CNC spacer casting, and from this figure you can see that our final product is actually not easily visible to the thieves, and also it is not easily accessible for them to actually disable them. And it can also, we need to make sure all the components it's small in size, and it can withstand high temperature and easily break. Here it is a video where it shows the spacer, right? So the spacer is actually very thin in size. On your right hand side here is actually the spacer, right? So this spacer here is the actual spacer they use in the market, and it is very thin, and then you use multiple type of spacer to actually fit that particular tire to have that particular alignment so that you have a better grip in that particular car. Sometimes due to looks also they use this spacer to bring a bit out, not out the fender, just a bit out the tires. And for car lovers, they use the spacers, and the middle cone here, we call it the cone, and that is to hold the hub in place. So what we have designed this using CNC machine, and this is much more bigger in size and thicker in size, so that we can place our components in this particular CNC spacer, and all our components will be placed in this spacer to accommodate this project of EWS, electronic wheel system. And this spacer is the actual spacer that is used in the market. You can purchase them, this particular spacer, but what we have designed a bit much more thicker spacer for our project, so that our here is the comparison where you can see that the first two is actually the spacer that we have designed, right? And this one is the market spacer. So here they are trying to put in the cone to fit the cone into the particular spacer. So here it shows the different types of lug nut, all right? And these different types of lug nut is the wheel locker, and this they have a different flower, and it locks the vehicle. And here you can see the same length being used, and also here you can see the key actually, and that is the key, so you need to use that key. And for sure you need to use a bit longer lug nuts. So the actual lug nut, that we can't use this particular lug nut because it's shorter in distance, so you have to use a bit longer distance lug nuts. And also some key is dual security, where ours also we have electronic security, and also you can also use the key security. And here are our spaces being placed into this vehicle. Then you have, for sure you have to do some balancing there. So here is the final product, where our final product here, you can see the spacer you have for this particular car, you have only you can see 4 holes, so you have more space to place our batteries, and also our sensors, and our pressure force sensors, and also our microprocessor and our GPS here, so that all these are being integrated, okay, to work as one to make as our EWS. Here is the difference of our product, where previously it was we did a universal one, and here you can see we have different length of screws that we have ordered for different thickness. And here you can see here is a spacer also installed with our EWS. Here it shows the front wheel of this particular exotic car also. We're using the EWS. So for the next part, the final part here, also on the conclusion and summary, where this project can be used for existing tool to lock mechanically, but also additional use our electronic tool to alert the user, enhancing the security. It means we can use the also the lug nut, that is a mechanical one, that is you have flowers and then you can lock them, so that it's difficult for them to open. But at the same time, when you're doing that, difficult for them to open, our electronic system will alert stage 1, stage 2 and stage 3 according to the process of the stealing that is going on. And our EWS also able to detect all these loosening detection and also removal detection and also placement detection of different levels. So the project is successfully achieved functionality with real world results. The project is in PNP, so it's plug and play. You can see how easy is it just to install the system. And whenever the battery is finished or deplete, you can just take out and recharge it, or you can just put another system and let it recharged. The project is actually a bit delayed due to movement control order. So future recommendations here, introduced to market so that people can use and protect their vehicles from thieves, and it could be modified easily for large vehicles like trucks and buses. So you know that your bus and trucks, they have very large wheels, and sometimes these wheels just come out from that particular bus or truck and it just flies on the highway or anywhere and hits somebody and some other cars. All these kind of things we have seen before a lot, and this is in our project will indicate all these types of loosening of these tires, wobbling of these tires, and pressure, and that during drive time, and this could be implemented to these trucks and buses. So thank you. Bye.